As I look out into the world and I see what I see, my goal is to remain true to God and who He's called me to be. Yeah, there's distractions on one side to the other, trying to stay cool and relevant and sticking there with your brothers and your sisters too. But at the end of the day, God still sits up high and He looks down low. And He's saying, I'm the one that I want you to get to know. On a personal note, that is. My background, my beginnings, where I grew up from, really here in West Palm Beach. Also, more so Riviera Beach, Florida. Born and raised here at Palm Beach Gardens High School. Been here all my life. Middle school, elementary, middle, and high school. So pretty much here. My mother comes from Georgia, and my dad is from the islands, better known as Turks and Caicos. They call it the British island. So I guess I have some of that in me, but I'm more of American than anything, but I still love my Bahamian family as well. But really pretty much a native of West Palm Beach, Florida. The spark started before I was even born. And I say that because I believe that it was always there. And I have something I tell anybody, and that I even tell myself. We all have greatness in us. So that kind of good and evil factor going on, we all have potential to be great. And to have potential, it has to be a seed there already. So I believe that it was already there. So it just boils down to a choice of, okay, am I going to live from this greatness? Am I going to run from this greatness? I received Christ in my life in 9th grade. Backing up even from there, I was born and raised in the church. I know that's not everybody's situations, but that was mine. And I didn't have a choice. I had to go to church, and it was like, okay, I didn't want to be here. And then it came when I was in 9th grade. It was an evening service. Bishop Cabarrus in Orlando, Florida, he was at our church doing a youth service. And he called for the altar call that night, and instead of me running or not going up on several times that I had done in the past, this night God really had just pricked my heart, and I answered. Trends come and trends go, but He's still saying, I ain't all about the hype, and I sure ain't about a show. But I'm the one that I want you to get to know. And hey, I ain't the one to judge. I got my own specs in my own eyes. But all I'm saying is I'm grateful that I realize that He's the truth, the light, I'm the way, and He's soon to be back one day. From that night on, which has been years ago, almost over 10 years, I've been on this incredible journey with God. And my difference is I've been able to fall in love with Him and not just love Him, and have a relationship and not just have religion. And even within my faith, I've had people say to me, Coretta, you shouldn't put Jesus on certain stuff. Like, we get it that you're passionate. We get it that you love Him. And even sometimes other believers to say. And I tell anybody, I'm not for everybody, every crowd isn't for me. And so going back to the point of you saying relationship versus religion, this is not just a business or a dream for me. This is a call for me. And so this doesn't even belong to me. Now, if I'm out in the world pursuing my dreams, I may have a different perspective. My motive, my why is going to be different. So I remember what my why is and who called me and why I'm doing this. And so a lot of times things become very religious for us. And I'm not downing religion, but religion comes with all these in-the-box motives and all these rules and regulations, and you shouldn't and you can't, and why are you doing that, and no, and this and that. In relationship, there's so much freedom. TDJ said that a Christian is pretty much another Christian. A Christian telling another beggar where they found the bread. So I was a beggar, and in a beggar I was hungry, and so I went looking for the bread and still ended up empty. And along that journey was other people with me. So I found the hot spot of where the real bread really is, and that's the bread of life, and that's Christ. And so for me now it's like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and get fat and be greedy and get selfish and be selfish, but I'm here, I'm filling myself up, but I'm going out also to share that same message, that same location with other people. Hey, this is where you find the bread. We're all beggars, we're all sinners in some way or another, but in the midst of it all, we don't have to continue to fall short. We don't have to continue to starve and die, but yet we have this living water, we have this bread. And so that's my passion, whether it's a shirt that says Queen Status, whether it's a shirt that says God is faithful, whatever the shirts may say, because it's all in the message of the same line of, hey, Jesus Christ, and there's hope and positivity. And so for me, that's what it really is, but especially for our girls and for our women. This is my way of serving God. This is my way of ministering the gospel, being out in the world, into the hedges and the highways, just really speaking life. And that life really is God, and that life is love, that life is hope. And so for me, this is where it pretty much came about in my journey with God, and that collided with just my purpose as well. I would say Coretta is a broken vessel that has been put back together with the glue of God. I'm someone that is optimistic, very resilient, very passionate. I'm someone that, for the most part, I'm aware of my insecurities, and I realize that I'm not perfect. And I'm someone that's not afraid to fail. because I've realized in so many of my moments of failure, I've learned my greatest lessons that has become evolved into my greatest strengths in my life. I'm someone that loves people. I love diversity. And I'm very creative in my head, and even sometimes how I dress, and with colors and stuff. And I'm someone that's very passionate about dying on empty. And when I say dying on empty, tapping into those gifts, tapping further into the calling that God has on my life. And that one day when I do leave this earth in the physical state, and that I close my eyes and hope to see God, that I want to have no dream unfulfilled that was in my control. No man knows the day nor the hour, but he's soon to come back. It ain't going to be time for us to backtrack about what we shoulda, what we coulda, and what we didn't do. When all along God was knocking at the door of our hearts with his unconditional love, saying it's you that I want and it's you that I love. It's kind of like we get a phone call or somebody knocks at our front door. Typically, we answer, open up, and let them in. And God is saying, if you haven't already, will you open up and let me in? See, it ain't about the amount of your sins, what you've done, or even where you've been. You could be all jacked up inside. God is known for shopping at Goodwill. Hey, that's where he get all the great deals. So I strongly encourage you to fall in love with unconditional love today. I promise, it won't be a mistake.